Well, hello, everybody. My name is Jason. This is Redfish Bluefish. It's Friday. We made it. I didn't think that we would make it. The last week that we've had. I don't know if any of you have been following my social posts, and if you haven't, you've been missing out. It's been quite an exciting meteorological week, I guess you could say. We've had one heck of a gale, like a winter gale that came through here, and yeah, we got smashed. So I am very, very happy to be with you guys. It's Friday night. We are all here together. Even though the weather here clearly conspired to keep us off the air, we were actually without power here for let me see, just over 2 days this time. So it was quite exhilarating. Oh, we have a comment here. I just caught it right here from Paul Soltero. Paul says, USPS set a land speed record getting the hung slow eye to me. Northwest Washington to Southeast North Carolina, 3 days. They're doing great. Oh, that's great news, Paul. I'm really happy to hear that, man. Awesome, awesome, awesome. That is fantastic. Mridul Singh here with a question, I see. Did you call the trucking company for the did you like my driving? No, I didn't. Oh, man. It has been, we got pummeled basically by, I think the final reports were something like 65-mile-an-hour winds. Not just bursts, but sustained 65-mile-an-hour winds. Smashing us here on the island. They got hit on the mainland too. I think we had well over 250,000 people without electricity here over that little winter gale. So as we always do here on the island, on the Whidbey Island, South Whidbey Island, we hunker down and we throw wood into our wood burning stoves, and we light them up. You know. Anyway, guys, let me find my cheat sheet. We're going to jump right in. We're going to do our top 10 early birds. Yes, you know it. You love it. I hope you love it. These are the first 10 people who were here in chat way before anyone else was here. Now, this time we didn't have much of an opportunity for super duper early birds to show up because, like I said, we were without power. We were without power here for quite a while, and just like at the last minute, I got everything put together. So here we go. First place. I'm not sure if he's here. I hope he is. Meek AM, you take first place. You were definitely the leader of the pack this time. In second place, Pepling Creek Aquatics. My goodness, Pepling Creek crushes it with a second place. Vice President Pepling Creek. Third place is Diego Petsotics. Diego, thank you so much for coming by so early, man. Fourth place, Laura Sutton. Laura crushing it every single week. Laura Sutton seems to be in the top 10. Just a force of nature there. Fifth place, I think we already read out a question from Mr. Paul. Paul Soltero. Paul. Fifth place, winner's circle for sure. Sixth place, we have Sean OOTD. Sean, thank you so much, man, for coming by. Sean, if you guys don't know, Sean is our resident Shelley fanatic. Seventh place goes to Mainly Bettas. Thank you so much for coming by so early and clinching seventh place in the top 10 early birds. Eighth place goes to EJ Fishes 76. EJ, congratulations. You've been in the top 10 early birds many times. Ninth place, Mridul Singh. Riddle, congratulations on 9th place. 10th place, Color Guppies. What's up, Color Gup? Color Guppies with the 10th place Clincherino. And I was actually watching live in chat when Color Guppies popped up, and right before Color Guppies, I'm sorry, right after Color Guppies popped up Aquaman. Aquaman, man, you were right almost in there, my friend. You almost made it. So we're going to give you an honorable, I guess, consolation prize mention. Aquaman almost made it in 10th place. So guys, if you didn't make the top 10 early birds, just show up a little earlier next time and we'll squeeze you in. So I'm going to jump right into chat. Like I said, the title of the live stream this time is Q&A time. I thought, because I am so terrible, so horribly terrible at keeping up with chat, we would dedicate most of an episode to just you guys asking me questions, anything you want. It doesn't have to be about my fish is doing this or that. It could be about the shop. It could be about future shipping policies. It could be about any host of things you can think of. And while you think of things, I am way at the top in chat. I'm going to start scrolling down and looking for mentions. Remember, guys, if you'd like to ask me something specific, please remember to @redfishbluefish in chat. It really helps me out a lot. So, hey, Jeeps and Things is in here. Guys, please be extra special, kind, and shower lots of love on Jeeps and Things. That is my brother. My brother tuning in from a kind of Houston, Texas-ish area. Kind of Houston, Texas. Not exactly, but pretty darn close. We'll call it Houston. We have lots of pre-show chat that I have. I got to just kind of zip through. There's a lot of people having a good time. Let me get through it. Oh, we have not a question, but a comment here from Maria Z. That's nice. Maria Z says, one of your guppies dropped about 30 fry for me a few days ago. Nice. Awesome, Maria. That would have to be the Platinum Galaxy Tiger strain for sure, because that is an extremely prolific guppy strain for sure. They will absolutely overrun your tanks with fry. No question. Congratulations, Maria Z, a new mommy. Yeah, we have a comment there from Streetwise. Thanks for the ecosystems. Oh, you're very welcome. Yeah, it's one of my favorite. One of my favorites, just kind of cycle through the nature there. Oh, goodness gracious. Have we frozen in chat? No, we're back. We have a question from Riddle Singh here. Roughly how many tanks do you plan on having in the store? It's a great question. So if we're counting stock tanks, if we just call them stock tanks, meaning, you know, aquariums that we're keeping specifically animals in or plants in, like bunch plants or rosette plants, whatever it is. It could be animals and plants in one tank. We're looking at 60 aquariums. And that's actually the exact number we have in here now. I don't know if you guys can see the racks behind me. I have slapped the aquariums up into them, and that's definitely a new thing. I've been pushing hard, working alone, basically, and we've gotten them populated. We'll grab the camera here in a little while, and we'll go have a look at how we put them together and kind of how they're stabilized. Alishan AS here with a very valid question here. When do you think you'll place another European order? probably within the next couple of weeks, honestly. I've been looking at availability in stock to see what's going on. It's not terrible, that's for certain. It's pretty good, but there's some gaps here and there. I can tell that my suppliers are still kind of filling in their tanks, basically getting stuff set up for the new year. They just closed out their books, and there's some pretty good selection going on. But besides the fact that, it could be better, I'm doing a lot of work here in the shop, so probably a couple of weeks. We're going to see another big shipment of fish. In a couple of weeks, we could probably see, in fact, for sure, we'll see some local bread stuff coming in here pretty soon. So stay tuned, please. Yeah, Maria Z says there was the largest female. Yep, for sure. Yeah, they definitely drop lots of fry. The Platinum Galaxy Tigers. They are pretty reliable breeders. Martin Shop Aquariums here. Do you live far from your shop? Luckily, no, I do not. I live 9 miles. I live 9 miles away from my shop. That's, I guess that could be a little far for some people, but, depending on what you're used to, that's 9 miles is not bad. And the great thing about it is it's really easy driving to get here from where I live. So it's very convenient. Mainly Betta's here with a good question. How do you feel about sending to Maine right now? I'm interested in placing an order, but the distance and weather is not good. Yeah, the timing, and I agree with you, mainly Betta's. I think that the timing and the weather right now is not super good. So if you could look it up and let me know what your local weather is in chat, if you could let us all know. You don't have to let us know where you live. Just say, how cold it is there, what's the forecast. That could be interesting. Yeah, this time of year, the Northeast is super tricky. Massachusetts, Maine, Vermont's can be very tricky. I ship with insulated fish boxes, which is to say it's a 200-pound test corrugated cardboard box, and inside of the box, is 1 inch thick, 1 pound density styrofoam, basically polystyrene. So the last shipment that we sent out quite a few orders. We actually, inside of the polystyrene insulated boxes, we actually placed inside of that what's known as what's it called? Templock box bags. What they are they're these. It's basically super reflective heat shield insulating bags that are made out of these. It looks like, you remember the cheesy movies of the 80s and 90s, the space blankets? Remember that stuff? That's exactly what it looks like. But inside of it, basically, are these little micro bubbles, like basically bubble wrap. I'm not sure if it's like proprietary, but it works very well. So we've been putting the fish and the heat pack and all of the insulating, the packing material inside of those Templock bags, and then slipping those Templock bags inside of the polystyrene insulated cardboard boxes. And it's been working very well. It's a technique I've used before. It costs a little bit extra. I won't lie. It costs about $1.50 extra to add the Templock bags, but it's very much worth it. It's very much worth it. Losing fish is far worse than doing that stuff. So I'm going to scroll back up and see, for some reason, my chat was freaking out. All Things Fish asks, how many Hawaiian Blue Moscows do you have available right now? I won't be back home for 3 weeks, but I've been wanting to get some since you posted them for sale. I see. Gosh, I want to say I probably have 10 pair or so right now. We have a pretty large number of fry. Unfortunately, quite a few people have already spoken for the fry, so luckily, I work with a good buddy of mine, Bentley. You guys know. I'm sure all you guys know Bentley Pasco. Bentley is working on. He's got his guppy mansion going. He calls it his guppy mansion. It's really his super guppy planted reef tank paradise thing. But I am talking to Bentley, and he's got plenty of guppies. He's feeding them well. He's showering them with He's showering them with love. He reads them bedtime stories actually at night. He told me. It's not really true, but we can pretend. We can actually all imagine in our minds Bentley Pasco reading bedtime stories to his blue Hawaiian Moscow guppies. That's not beyond the realm of possibility. I could actually see Bentley doing that. Bentley, I love you, buddy. No, but in all seriousness, we'll have plenty of more, blue Hawaiian Moscow guppies coming through here. It's a labor of love for sure for Bentley. He takes really good care of them. He was on the hunt for this strain for like ever and a day. And he's done a good job of keeping them cold out and keeping them nice and healthy. Pardon me for a moment. And we will definitely have plenty more of the luxurious blue Hawaiian Moscow guppies coming through. All Things Fish says, looking for trios preferably. I know you list them as pairs for sale. Yes, everyone is always looking for guppy trios. I don't sell them, unfortunately. And that is because, for the most part, when it comes to guppy availability, it always works out in the end to 50-50. And if I start selling trios when I'm not the breeder, and I specifically don't breed or purchase for presenting trios, it always leaves me with males. So, yeah, that is always, that's a constant ask. I'm constantly getting that. I mean, not a day goes by where I don't get at least 3, maybe 5 emails saying, hey, why do you only have pairs? I want trios. Some people say I want 4 females and 3 females and 1 male. It gets it gets chatty on email over the guppy trio subject. So let's see what else we have here in chat. I feel pretty decent so far. I don't seem to be missing too much. That's a rarity here. Skipper's Aquariums asks, how many black Venezuelan cories do I have left? I would say about 40, maybe 35, 40 of those or so. Yeah, I'd say it's pretty accurate, 35, 40. We have plenty of them, and they're fat and healthy. They're eating very well. Riddle Singh here with a good question here. How many employees, if you can answer, do you plan on having at the store? I really can't answer for sure right now. I've been in some talks, been talking to a number of different people about the subject. You see, so much of that answer is wrapped up in COVID and the virus, right? How much how much progress are we going to see in the next in the coming months, in the next coming few months. Remember, our goal was to really we want to open up the shop. Pardon me. We want to open up the shop pretty much full on by spring, right? By the beginning of spring. Well, how much progress are we going to have with this vaccine by then, right? I just have to say, there's been a lot of announcements about this vaccine is available and that vaccine's available. We're having a really, I don't want to make this about COVID. I'll shut up after this. We're not having great logistics in Washington right now. They're trying to get vaccinations out to the elderly and that sort of thing, but it's not great right now. So much of when we're going to open and in what capacity we're going to open, how many employees, that sort of thing, what are the hours going to be, it's just all tied up in that. So I wish I had a better answer, Riddle. I really do. I just don't have a great one. I wish fate would show its hands. Show its hand. Show me your hand there, fate. All things fish here with a comment. 9 miles in the Midwest is about the distance between you and your neighbor. Yes. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm originally a Texan. I come from the state of Texas. And 9 miles cannot generally get you to the grocery store, even in cities. Texas is a massive state, and things tend to spread out really far. So 9 miles is nothing to me. I'm used to it. The way I drive, I just fly up the highway. No, I'm just joking. I drive very safely. Everyone actually drives quite safely around here. Okay, so let me jump right back in here. Jeeps and things with the comment, not bad. I'm used to 40-mile commutes in rush hour. Yeah, I know you are. Both ways. And I used to do it. See, guys, I used to live in the massive uber overpopulated sprawl of Houston, Texas. And let me tell you, that traffic is something else. You really have to try hard to beat Houston. LA beats Houston. I'll give LA that. LA does beat Houston, but only barely. Only barely. Houston is right up there, let me tell you. And like my brother, Jeeps and things, I did that sprawl for many years and never again. I am done with that stuff, man. Martin's Shop Aquariums asks here, how long have you been on YouTube? I love your intro. Well, first of all, thank you very much, Martin. That's very kind of you. Thank you so much for that. I have been on YouTube for about 14 months, actually. 14, 15 months, maybe? Something like that. I have not been on YouTube for a year and a half even. I just started. I wanted to share some of my joy of keeping plants, planted tanks and nanofish and aquascaping. I was really into that, still am. And I wanted to, I set up a channel mainly to explore that, to share that, the aquascaping side and the planted tank side and the nanofish keeping side. And I was also into plant micropropagation, so tissue culture, in vitro tissue culture of aquatic plants specifically. I had built a little kind of a clean room in a spare room in my house, a very small spare room, and I had been doing that for a very short time in that location. I'd been doing it prior, mycology work prior, working with basically fungi and mushrooms in a clean room environment. And I started, plant micropropagation again, and I decided, we'll do a short series. And that's kind of the plant micropropagation videos and the aquascaping stuff is kind of what pushed me into it. I didn't really have any plans to be doing YouTube still. I like most people, I think, when they start YouTube, they didn't so much have a plan, they just wanted to share. and hopefully you stick with it, and you learn more and more, and you share what you're learning. And in that sense, if you do that, I think that YouTube can be really, really successful. That's basically how I accidentally went about this. You know what, guys? Let me switch around to the other camera. I've been on the backup camera all night so far, and we're half an hour into this. That's a little unusual. That's okay. Hey, there we go. Let me jump back into chat and continue with the questions. And thank you again, Martin's Shop Aquariums, for the kind compliment. Very, very kind of you. Filigree Aquatics here with a question I actually wrote down. I caught it. Do another cooking music guppies in a glass live stream. Okay. Well, I've been thinking about that. Maybe doing a little something off cuff, maybe. I got to be honest. I'd love to do another cooking video, another kind of off the cuff sort of video like that. But YouTube has been getting pretty strict with music, like playing copyrighted music, even music that is widely accepted to be okay if you play little snippets of it on your channel. They've really been cracking down on that sort of thing. So I'm not sure we could, if we did that, I'm not sure we could do the same musical adventure. I would really like to do that, though. We would, instead of doing it in the house, in the kitchen, we should probably do it outside, grill something, make a fire. Xanadu, I saw a comment there. Oh, let me see if I can go up and catch that. See, it's mega scrolling on me again. Xanadu with a comment here. I did 5 years in Chicago plus around 10 and MPLS. No, goodbye. Yeah. Yeah. Minneapolis, Chicago. Yes, I have spent plenty of time in Chicago, and it's cold. It's cold. Very, very cold and windy. Yes, indeed. Paul Sotero with a comment here. Try driving the New York metro area, then we'll talk. No, that's okay, man. No, thank you. I'll skip out, but I will listen to all of your hero tales. I'm sure you have lots of them. Everyone, I mean, come on. Everyone has those tales. Who drives the New York metro area? So I lived in Maryland, actually, for many years, and worked in government and outside and contracting for the government and everything you can kind of mention, inside, outside, contracting for. I did a lot of work inside the Beltway and on the Beltway, so I know all about super crawls. Those super crawls where you get stuck in it and you're like, I guess I just live on this highway now. I guess this is just where I'll live. I mean, I could kind of do it. Start thinking crazy like that. Okay, we have a really great question here that I see from All Things Fish. All Things Fish asks, what's been your biggest challenge on the business side of things? Paperwork, permits, etc., of getting your shop up and running. The biggest challenge, can we say business-wise, business side-wise? Yeah, we could easily say that. Easily the biggest challenge of getting my business up and running, the way that I wanted it up and running, in the capacity that I wanted it to run in, was finding the location. Location. Anyone who has ever opened a fish store or hopes to open a fish store, or who tried and succeeded or tried and failed to open a fish store will say the same thing. Finding the location is a nightmare. It really is, because by and large, people just do not want you there. They just do not want aquariums in their space, and that, the visions in their head of floods and humidity damage and water damage and all kinds of stuff, liability. That is easily the most difficult part of opening a shop, any shop, not just this shop. Trust me, having been through it, that will be your biggest challenge. I suppose if you didn't do your prior planning and you didn't have the money, that would be a much bigger one. But I guess at that point, you would have never gotten in the space. So we have another comment here. We have another comment here from S. S asks, you mentioned a type of beta you would be getting eventually once before, but I'm not remembering the name. Could you remind me? Yes, with pleasure. That is actually from, I won't share her name, but a really cool person. All of you would recognize her name, but I won't share her name. Definitely a subscriber, a friend of mine, kind of a YouTube friend. Has been around on lots of other channels. I am working on getting a decent number of Mahakayensis betas. Mahakayensis. I hope that answers your question, S. Let me see if I can, I don't want to mistype it in chat. And let me see if Google can correct me. Here we go. It is Beta Mahakayensis. Let me go on ahead and pop this into chat for S. Boom. There you go, S. Hope that helps. Yeah, there was no way I was going to try to type that out in chat. And yeah, I had to type it into Google and let Google say, you idiot, did you mean this? So I could copy and paste Google's intelligence. You see, smart men don't have to be smart. We just go to Google. I see there a following question. Yeah, WYSIWYG betas. Yeah, WYSIWYG. Yeah, that's kind of an old school term. Yeah. WYSIWYG betas. What you see is what you get. That is basically where you guys know that there's a lot of variability in betta fish. When we get them in, we could get them in from a local breeder. We could get them in from overseas, Europe, Asia, wherever. You could get 10 deep blue crown tails or so-and-so blah, blah, blahs. Most of them are not going to be the same. There's going to be a decent degree of variability in bettas. Male bettas specifically are really huge about that sort of thing. So that is kind of where the WYSIWYG betta concept came into. WYSIWYG, what you see is what you get. So that is where basically when you would click on bettas, there would be just like, whoa, how many kinds of bettas does he have? 15, 20? No. Just they're individual bettas. They're not kinds of bettas. So it would be beta 0010, beta 0011, beta 0012, that sort of thing. And the photograph of that listing for that, I hate to say product, but that fish, that photograph that you see in that particular listing, that is actually the fish that you would be receiving were you to purchase that fish. If you were to purchase that fish. That's how that works. So hopefully that answers your question. I'm going to keep scrolling down for any more questions and see if I have missed too terribly much. Probably loads. Sean OOTD says, yeah, traffic sucked, but I still miss Dallas, especially living here. Yeah, I have never lived in Dallas. I've done a lot of driving and in my much younger years, hardcore partying in Dallas, Fort Worth, the Richmond Hills area, certain other areas. Dallas has some, I don't know, it's got a very different feel from the rest of Texas. Like if you basically the way I think of it is, Dallas, Fort Worth, that area, and north from there, Texas changes a lot in attitude, in commerce, and in a lot of it. It's almost not a different state, but it kind of feels like that sometimes. I am from deep, deep South Texas, from a place in Texas called the Rio Grande Valley, or if you prefer, the Rio Grande Valley. Very impoverished, not a lot of money, a lot of agriculture, huge, wide open, flat spaces. It's called a valley for a reason. A lot of citrus growing, a lot of drug running, unfortunately. A lot of that was going on. It's just a tough area growing up back in then. So, guys, I think I have run out of questions. Have I? I'm going to keep going down. Oh, gosh, darn it. Here we go with my chat. See, every once in a while, chat kind of craps out on me, and I have to close it and get back in. It's terrible. See if this is going to work. Oh, there we go. Hey, we have a question here. We have a question from Bottom Dweller Aquatics. What is the real name of the floating plant called water spangles? That is Salvinia minima. Salvinia minima is the true, I don't know if you would say true, but certainly the Latin or the scientific name of water spangles. Salvinia minima. It's a very lovely plant, actually. It's quite helpful in aquaria because it's really good at sucking up additional nitrates that you might not want in your water. I mean, if you're a plant and tank person, and you, especially if you have a lot of stem plants in your aquariums, then you want nitrate in your water. That's a good portion of what you're dosing if you're adding fertilizer, liquid fertilizer to your water column. Nitrate. So good stuff. So that is Salvinia minimum. Yes, mainly bettas there with a follow-on comment about the WYSIWYG bettas. A lot more work, but smart. Most people want WYSIWYG bettas. Yeah, I mean, it's really, I got to be honest with you. It's not that much work. It's just put them in a decent little clear container that's lighted, and take a couple of decent photos of them and put them in their tank, and let them do their thing. They'll be swimming around, having a good time, eating, hiding in plants like male bettas love to do. And, just list them up. Yeah, WYSIWYG bettas really are, I think, the way to go as well. Obviously, selling them out of your shop is the best way to do it. But for online, I think it's the way to go. Let's see here. Natural Aquariums with a question here. I have some boost plants that have several stalks and some aerial roots growing. I imagine I can just cut those separate stalks off low and replant. Yes, you should be able to if they have roots growing on them. Yeah, you want to see if you can trim off any, with boost, you really want to get at least a couple of nodes, when we cut it, if it has nodes, and some root growth. That really gives it a great chance of establishing in your aquarium, because boost is not typically a difficult plant to grow, but it can be a little bit unforgiving if you but if you cut off a bit of clone plant material a little bit too early off of boost, it can be pretty unforgiving. So I would just make sure that you have a couple of nodes on it and some roots, and, you know, decent roots on it before you you take it off, and then you should be good to go. Mainly Betta's here with a question. Any plans to sell some loaches? Of course, yes. Always looking for loaches. Been looking for a good supplier of horse-faced loaches. Yes. Yes, absolutely. One loach I will never sell is the coolie. Not interested. No way. I don't need to tell you guys why. It's not worth our time chasing coolie loaches around forever and a day to catch them. I'm certainly not going to be catching them and bagging them and shipping them. That's not going to happen. I mean, come on. Coolie loaches are super common. You can get them anywhere. You don't need me having a stroke trying to catch coolie loaches. You don't want that. Yeah, absolutely. Bottom dweller aquatics, no problem. Okay, well, we have a question here from All Things Fish. All Things Fish asked, someone earlier asked how long you've been on YouTube. I'm just getting into it myself. Started throwing content out a couple of weeks ago. What camera mic do you use? Okay, so in terms of this camera that I'm on now, this is nothing more than a Logitech HD webcam. Nothing fancy, it's just a standard webcam. I'm in my shop. I don't have any fancy schmancy, you know, lights on. Not that I wouldn't recommend it. I would recommend you invest in some additional lighting, you know, multi-point lighting. It breaks up. You see the reflection I have on my glasses kind of showing my screen. That's because I'm just kind of all over the place and I don't have time for all this kind of studio production quality lighting stuff going on. I would recommend that it's going to sound lame. It's going to sound lame. I would recommend that if you're going to start a YouTube channel or any kind of production, video production, unless you really, really need and you have a burning hot desire, and be careful about those burning hot desires, unless you absolutely need 4K and blah, 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 don't do it. Get a really good Android phone or an iPhone and just learn to shoot good video with an iPhone. There's software out there that allow you to turn your iPhone or your Android phone for that matter into what amounts to a wireless webcam, which is exactly what I'm doing when I do this. See how it switches over? That's a cell phone. And it's running some kind of software called EpoCam. And when I do this, that is the actual USB webcam from Logitech that I'm switching over to. I'm doing that with Streamlabs OBS. So I don't want to get too deep into the kind of nerdiness of video production, although it is fascinating. I would really recommend that if you want to get into making your own YouTube channel or maybe just videos on demand or shooting your own intros, whatever it is, get a decent, good, you know, iPhone or an Android and start shooting with that. There are some tons of free videos on YouTube that show you how to frame video and how to track and how to, you know, think about transitions and lighting and all that stuff. I mean, that's basically how I did the intro, the outro, all those things that I do. I just kind of taught myself. I'm not an audio visual guru, that's for sure. So hopefully that answers your question and gives you some pointers, maybe. Hopefully. Easy to catch them with a wet, dry shop vac from Jeeps and things. Yeah, everything is easy to catch with a wet, dry shop vac. So, you know what, guys? I just realized I was going to show you guys an update on the racks behind me, yeah? On the racks. So let me fix my audio and switch over to my walkabout cam, as I call it. A walkabout cam is my cell phone running my hacked software, blah, blah, blah. Don't want to go into it. So let me switch this around and... Booyah. Hey. No, that should be a lot more hissy and noisy. That's because that is an iPhone. That is no longer a fancy schmancy sit down microphone. Okay, guys. So let's have a look around. We're over here behind the wall of aquariums. We have them all up here. We don't have all of our hoods. We don't have all of our lights, our fancy schmancies. I've been calling my vendor, yelling at her. Poor Leanne. Been screaming at her like crazy. So here we go. Here is the wall of aquariums. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 independent racks. I should have counted it like the count from Sesame Street. No, 1 rack, 2 racks. No, but basically they're all independent racks, each and every one, although you couldn't tell it from this long spine that goes and runs all the way down that way, and the same thing there. This long spine, unbroken spine, runs all the way down to the end, times 2. 1 here, 1 there. And what it does is it essentially joins all 5 of these independent racks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It basically turns them into one long, solid, super stable rack, right? Why did I build them independently like that and then join them all together? Well, it's for future options, guys. If I say, I hate this, I hate it, and I hate myself, and I want to die, I can rip it all out and move this rack there, and that rack there, and that rack there, and that rack there, and wherever. You can't do that in traditional fish stores. So that's number 1. Number 2, we've got all of our affixation covered. These 40 breeders, this is an over and under, an over and under, and a over and under. These are all affixed together. These are independent racks, just like these, 3 of them, right? For 40 breeders, over and unders, just like this guy. But they're affixed together here. See? And again, affixed here with many screws. And then, since this is effectively all one solid piece now, well, not solid, but you get my point, as is this huge wall, we've affixed them here, 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 and of course here, and all down there as well. So, effectively, when these aquariums are there, full of water, and all these aquariums are there and full of water, and they're affixed together, it becomes pretty much a movable mountain of water. Good luck pulling that over. It would be like punching an elephant and hoping that it keels over dead. Not going to happen. So you see we have one lone LED hood up here. I got shorted these things big time, and I'm waiting for a large number of them to come in. So you see we've gotten these all painted up nice and black. No problems at all. Looks really, really slick actually, I think. I'm pretty happy with this. So I'm going to jump back over here. I think we're probably close to time. Jump in. Whoa, hey yo. Sorry about that. I'm not drunk, I just play one. Let's see. Let me switch over the audio. Hey, nice. Okay. So let me jump over here and see if I missed anything. I see a comment from Pew Fish Zone. Is your floor concrete? Yes, it is. It is concrete. It is a, I don't know, it's not painted. It's this textured acidified something or other concrete. It's kind of orange, rusty looking. It is absolutely concrete, and it is, as you might guess, pretty rock solid. So guys, we're going to wrap it up pretty soon here. If I need any, let's see, if I missed any questions, please let me know. Please let me know. Filigree Aquatics, he's going to show us his rack. Oh yeah. We're gonna show you some racks for sure. Naughty, naughty. EJ Fishes 76 with a question here. Any potential from angelfish from local breeders? Well, yeah, there is actually potential for that. I have spoken to some people, a couple of people in this very chat right now. You know who you are. Wink, wink. So guys, I think we're probably gonna All Things Fish says, my vote for the next live stream is a Coolie Loach Rodeo. No. Yeah, I just don't do the Coolie Loaches, man. I mean, I get it. They're fantastic fish. They're a fantastic fish. I love Coolie Loaches when other people sell them and catch them. Not me. No. You're asking for it. Guys, thank you so much for coming by and hanging out with me. My name is Jason. You've been watching Redfish Bluefish. If you haven't yet liked, shared, or subscribed, please consider doing so. It would mean so much to me. It really helps my channel out. And we will be seeing you guys next Friday at 8 p.m. Pacific. That is 11 p.m. Eastern, right here on the YouTube. I wish you all peace, love, and happy fish keeping.